What's up, everybody? Welcome to Marriage Unmasked. It's me, your boy, Hen, and I'm here with the lovely, amazing, the most beautiful woman in the world, Shireal.
I'll take it. What's up, y'all?
I'm sorry. I didn't
What's
say
up?
I didn't say my wife. My bad. My wife.
Yes, that's why he had to say that, which is good. It's good.
Definitely. We are back, y'all. We here for season 5. We excited. I know I am.
Excited. I am so excited. I can't believe we're in 5 years of doing this podcast.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. It's literally and I think about when you first brought this idea to me, I was like, what are you even talking about?
Yeah, we just got married. Shireal was like,
Well, we were 5 years in. So we were 5 years in.
That's
When
right.
you brought the idea to me. It's funny because literally, like, when we think about being 5 years in when we started, and now we've been doing this for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So we were 5 years in, now we're 10 years in.
Ooh, 10 years.
So now I feel a little bit more qualified.
More qualified to speak on marriage.
Yeah, like at 5 years when you brought the idea, like God. So for those of you who are just tuning in for the first time, we're just going to give you a little backstory about how we started.
Okay.
So my husband came to me. We were 5 years married and said God gave him a vision to do something for marriages. By the way, let me give you another little extra history. He's also was raised in the church. Both his parents are pastors. His family is heavy in church. He's a minister. And I am none of those things. I am saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost.
Oh my
but
gosh.
I am not
Wait, you
minister. I'm not like a worship leader. I'm not.
Wait. How you start from I am none of those things?
Because I want to set the picture. Okay. So when he came to me, immediately I'm thinking he wants to start a church or he wants to, you know what I'm saying? Like counsel people. And I just didn't feel like we were qualified to do any of that. So I gave him a lot of heat, but then he convinced me. How did you convince me?
You did give me a lot of heat. I originally wanted to do something. It was on my heart to just help people in marriages that were younger, like around our age, because we had the example of marriages growing up, but it's like people that were married for like 20, 30, 40 years. And I'm like, yo, we just started. We newlyweds pretty much.
Yeah, that
like,
advice was real.
They had advice like, stay with your man, stay with your wife. Like, that was it. Like,
I don't want to.
Like, how do you not help? What do you do help when what do you do with navigating kids or with like a career and stuff? We were looking for answers that we weren't necessarily getting, and it was like God kind of probably whispered, like, why don't you start your own thing? Like, do this. You give the idea for that. So. That's where it came from originally.
He's exactly right. Like everybody we were surrounded by was married for 20 plus years. And so.
Which was good, but not where we were.
It wasn't where we were. And just make sure y'all pray. That advice was like.
That's a fact.
Okay, we're praying.
Like, that's it. What do you do after prayer?
What happens after? So it was more so like my whole thing was if we're going to do this, we got to make sure we're true to who we are. Mm-hmm. We're very authentic. We're not preaching at nobody because that is not my style.
Wait, let me interrupt you, please.
Yes.
Before we started, Shireal was like, I don't know what this you think you want to do, Henry, but we need to be real. And I was like, I don't expect us not to be real. No, we need to be really real and authentic. And I was like, and when she said it, I was like, you kind of scaring me because I know you want to take it to another level, but like relatable real, if that makes any sense.
I just know that I don't really necessarily even want to hear nobody's advice, and so, because everybody's relationship is different. So no matter what I say, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to resonate with the next person. So the only thing I knew how to do if we were going to do anything like this was to just be transparent about what we're going through, and hopefully it will connect with someone and help them. And really, I think the other part of it was really to build a community of married people who
Yeah.
were like looking to stay married. You know, a support system, you know, for those of us who didn't have people around us that were married 30, 40 years, or for those of us who do and don't have anybody like that was only married for 5, you know. So really just to build a community. And this is literally how we came up with the name. I said to Henry, you know, maybe like marriage unmastered. Like, I don't want to act like we know what we talking about.
That's a fact. Because you never master marriage. It always evolves over time, and then keep it real. You get tired of looking at like celebrity couples too, like that have it all together, but they just have money. It makes it a little easier to deal with.
Listen, and they began divorce. So, like it's tough out here. It's tough out here to stay married. I feel like a lot of people getting married, but staying married is a whole nother thing. And so 2025, we'll be married for 11 years this year in October. So that's huge, like for us, you know, again, like we started at 5 years and here we are pushing 11. So it's really excited. And I feel, like I said, I do feel like now I'm in a position where I feel a little bit more like
seasoned,
and you know, I feel a little bit more like I could give, I don't know about advice, but I could definitely there's a story somewhere that relates to most things that I think couples are going to. So that leads us to now season 5, y'all. So for those of you who just joined, we just definitely wanted to kind of give you a backstory on where we started, and now let's talk about like where we're going. So let's talk about season 5, Henry. Can we talk?
Yeah, can we talk? We got the inspiration from the greatest Tevin
Campbell. That's not where we got the inspiration. That's one of them, because
that's the song. Like,
no, Henry.
Is it Tevin Campbell?
It is Tevin Campbell.
Okay, I'll make sure I had his name right. Shout out to Tevin Campbell.
Shout out to Tevin
R.I.P.
Campbell.
In the family.
Did you say R.I.P.?
He passed away.
He did?
Yo, where have you been?
When did he die?
Anyway, y'all.
I don't want to hear about that. First of all, definitely R.I.P. to his family, but Jesus, like,
we're about to move on.
I'm like, okay, please. Ugh.
So,
I'm sorry. I feel so messed up now. Why did you even tell me right now?
I apologize.
Okay.
Fellas, your go-to is I apologize.
Whatever.
When you got stuff going on, you don't know what to say. I'm sorry.
Can we talk? So initially, we were gonna name this season "Life Be Lifin'."
Yeah, but that was like, nah.
It fit though. It fit. It fit.
It definitely did fit. But I think the "Can We Talk" was a more universal approach or topic, or
I think it was more not just the universal, because I think more people would definitely relate to "Can We Talk," but I think that, like, without saying, communication is the key, right? Because I feel like that is the number one advice that you get when you're getting married from either your pastor or other married people or counselors, or like literally every single one of them is like, communication is the key. So without saying that, it's like, can we talk?
So let me bring this out. I honestly believe in my heart that when people say communication is the key to keep your marriage or your relationship, I feel like sometimes they don't even know what communication is. And it's just something to say because it's what you think is relatable or it's the best. Like, communication. It's like, what is communication? Do you know what it is?
I think that one thing I know for sure that we've learned is, especially in any relationship probably, but especially in your marriage, communication is always evolving. So like when you first get married, I don't think, well, for us, we didn't have a clue how to communicate with each other. Like, it was literally, and because you're literally discovering this new you, right? And you're becoming one with this person. And so everything is very new. And so we really started out like infants, like not even knowing how to talk to each other at all.
Had to learn how to relate. I think like even in year 2 or 3 of our marriage, we started playing games together. I was teaching her how to play Tonk and Rummy, and then she started beating me, and I hated that. I didn't like it, but I remember one day I was like, I don't want to play no more. I was sick of losing. She was like, no, Henry, this is how we communicate. This is how we talk. Because as we were playing the games, we began to talk to one another, and we began to open up. We was like, didn't know playing the game would allow us to just talk to each other.
Yeah.
And that's something we learned over time. Like, okay, it's another level for us.
And there's also different conversations that you have to like learn how to have. So if you go back and listen to some of our old episodes, we talk a lot about how we had to learn to talk about finances and money. That's a different conversation. That's not just the everyday, how you doing, how was your day? Like talking about money, especially when you're newlyweds, it can be very uncomfortable. And
we was going through it.
Yeah, it's, like it was like the worst conversation to have. And honestly, like we had to go through pretty much counseling to learn how to talk about finances in our marriage. And so like it's different levels, it's different types of communication, and like really navigating that conversation is wild. Like and so I really think that's what, like, one of the reasons we really felt like this is a great kind of theme for this season, because you're constantly like evolving and learning your spouse and learning how to communicate with each other.
That's true. I would also say too, like as a man and as a husband, I had to learn one thing that helped me. I had to realize, like, Henry, you're wrong. You don't know how to do this. You ain't got to like agree like that, Shireal. Like, I mean, I don't need all the antics. But I had to really say to myself, like, yo, bro, you don't know this. You need to listen to your wife. And that was like a humbling thing for me in marriage, because as a man, one thing that men have is pride. And especially when you want to be the man and be on top of your game, trying to support your wife or support your family, you want to be in a I know all, I know how to do all in mode. So to like backtrack and be like, okay, maybe you don't know this, bruh. You got to take a back seat. That was hard for me, especially with like finances, because I felt like I could make all the money in the world, and I knew how to make money. I knew how to bring the money in. I had a terrible method of managing money, but my wife was excellent at managing money. So like, hers like, babe, no, that's not it. It wasn't as soft as you hear me talk now, but like,
it was very soft. It was very soft.
I don't know who she trying to fool.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, over time you learn things, and that was like that's just one thing that I learned in talking with finances. But
yeah, the finances topic, and I think it still kind of continues to be tough depending on what's going on that month.
Yeah. Well, I will say this: when at our home church back home in CT, there was a financial course that they had called Financial Peace University, and so
good training.
Yeah, we went to the course as a couple, and it taught us biblically about like tithing, how to budget your money, and how to allocate your funds, and really how to put every dollar you get, you have to put it somewhere, because if you don't, it's gonna go anywhere it wants to. And when you think about it, say if I gave you $100 right now, right? And I say, this is for you. Do what you want. Next week, I'm like, what $100? You be like, what you gonna say?
What am I gonna say?
Yeah, what would you say to Lee? Like before we took the course.
What I have said, even before we took the course, I would have knew what my $100 went.
Okay.
I would have.
You're not following me, but I'm saying in general,
me to
like
say something that I'm not. I would have known where my money went.
Well, maybe you, but like maybe us as a couple, we were like, dang, we just had $100 and it's gone. Like I don't know where I spent. Have you ever had said, I had money and I don't know where I spent it or where it's going, and it's gone?
Yes.
And it taught us like if you don't tell your money where to go, it's gonna do its own thing.
Yeah.
And
but another thing it kind of taught us, which is maybe let me clarify. it taught us about how cash makes things more real, and when you're using your card, you tend to spend more because it's not real, like you're not seeing it. So that's why I was like, if you gave me $100, I would know where it went. But like if you put it in my account, I might not know where it went, because I could go and swipe, and I'm like, oh my God, I spent $100. But if I have the cash in my hand, I typically know where I'm going to put it, because I'll hold on to it most likely, or I'll put some in my little woman's stash, or, like I'll make sure I know where that $100 went.
Your woman's stash?
My woman's stash, for sure. So, you know what I'm saying? So,
fellas, all ladies have a woman's stash. Like, don't be mad. Don't be upset.
No, don't. Be happy that you have a responsible wife.
It is what it is.
Because every once in a while, you can be like, yo, I need $5. Give me a minute. I'll be back.
I'll be back.
I got it. I can hand you $5. But anyway, we're veering a little bit off topic. So
Yeah.
different levels of communication, different levels of conversation, and so really in your marriage, you're literally always making that statement in some way. Yo, can we talk? I need to talk to you. Let's chat. Let's sit down. Or if you're not, you should be. You should be continuously checking in.
By the way, on the subject of can we talk, that is like the worst introduction to having a conversation.
Okay, we've had this conversation.
I'm going to have it again, because I need you to know that approach is not going to work in 2025.
Hurry, please.
You need to change it up.
Hurry, please. Please.
Oh, babe, I got something to
Here's
tell
the
you.
Here's the thing too. Like, I always say, like, don't filter me. Don't filter me at home. Like, when I go to work, I got to be filtered. When I go out into the world in certain situations, I have to filter myself. If I can't come home and just be able to say, yo, can we talk? If I have to make that sweet, don't make me do that in my house. Like, as a black woman, as a black woman, like, every time I leave the house, every time I go to work, every time I'm in the schools with the kids, I have to filter how I say things. Even with the kids, I have to be very conscious of how I say things. And with you, in certain instances, I have to be conscious of how I say things, especially if it's an angry situation, or if, but like, if I'm just need to chat with you real quick, you can sit here and make all the faces you want. But I'm not trying to let me say a nice way of saying we need to talk. Like, bro, let me holler at you real quick.
There should be a certain level of filterization. Leave me alone. That's my word. of addressing it.
I think you need to just man up a little bit.
Oh, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Do that.
I can't just come home and say, yo, we need to talk. You got it like that. If you can't handle that, then
I can handle anything.
Okay, so
I'm just saying,
handle it.
Change it up a little bit. Make it exciting.
I change it when it's different. But if that's where it's at, that's where it's at. I don't.
Oh boy.
If that's where it's at, that's where it's at.
If that's where it's at, that's where it's at.
Because it's not always that. But if that's where it's at, that's where it's at. Sometimes it's, yo, can I holler at you? Or it's, oh, let's talk about this or this. But if that's the moment I'm in, can we talk? That's the moment I'm in.
I was going from we need to talk.
Okay. Then I'm saying
change
sometimes
it. I was
it's
saying
that.
just change it from that.
Sometimes it's that.
Or just be like, babe, I need to talk to you about something really important.
Sometimes it's that. Maybe it ain't really important. I mean, I really don't know how to respond, except for sometimes it's that.
You don't have to respond at all. It's fine.
Okay, well, when we gotta talk, we gotta talk.
I get it.
But see, here's the other thing too.
What's up?
I could also not say anything, and then that's also a problem. So, you know what I'm saying? You gotta choose. If that's where I'm at, that's where I'm at. It's not like every single time we have to talk about something, I say it that way. Like I said, it really depends on the situation. I don't know. There's no way I could really.
Okay. That's cool.
I just feel like, yo, it is what it is.
No, it's straight. Moving on. I'm about to do my Don Lemon.
Whatever. So anyways,
moving on.
So anyways, like, so all of this is normal, right? So one of the things we really wanted to dive into this season too was like normalizing what a marriage looks like, normalizing what happy marriages is, because it's really interesting. Like, you go into a marriage and you have these ideas and these fantasies of what marriage is supposed to look like, or what it's supposed to be. First of all, no marriage looks the same.
Yeah.
Like, your marriage is not going to look like your parents' marriage or the neighbor's marriage, or like whatever is happening in your home, that's a unique situation to you. So that's number one. And number two, like, everybody's levels and tolerances for different scenarios is different. So things that I potentially put up with, that's what came out. But things that probably don't necessarily bother me in my house might bother somebody else. So for them, they could be like, oh, how does this person put up with this? I would never. You're not supposed to. You know, like, so whatever you got going on over there, that's what you're supposed to be worried about and what you're supposed to be putting up with. And I think, like, when we start comparing ourselves to other people, that's when it's like, oh, I don't have a happy marriage. Like, you really have to know what your own criteria is, like where your peace levels lay, like what your tolerance levels for certain such things are, and like between you and your spouse, have that understanding. And then that's how you become this happy marriage, right? But it's not based on what other people do or what you see, or it's really based on this unit right here. And so when we kind of dig into that more this season, like, start to think about your own marriage and like, what does happy look like for you? You know, because it's not happy is not a like this standard thing. It's, you know, it's not just like, okay, take the cookie cutter, cut it out, and this is what happy is. Like, so for me, and as in this marriage with my husband, happy for me is like peace in my house, right? Like, when we're not like arguing all the time, right? Like, or like, also happy for me is like partnership. So, you know, sometimes I cook, sometimes he cooks, you know, being able to sit down and do things with our kids, have game nights, like, you know, like, I'm just naming random things that are coming to my head right now, but like, that's kind of what, like, is my definition of happy. Like these are the top things that are coming to my head. However, for someone else, happy might be they're going on trips once a quarter, or that would be nice, but that's not where
Trips
my
are
happiness
good.
lies.
Trips are very
you know,
good.
yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, for me, the everyday, like, being able to have a consistent life, like not having to worry about if my husband is at work when he says he's at work, or if he's coming home when he said, like, these are just things that he just never makes me think about. Like, I'm just, when he gets off work, I'm my internal clock is letting me know he's on his way home, because that's just what he's provided for me, that safety of not having to ever really worry about that. But that's happiness for me. Somebody else might be cool with their husband not being on a regular schedule. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, really, we're really going to dig into that this season and really start to look at, because it's important for you to kind of make that assessment for yourself, so that you can ensure that the peace and the happiness that you create in your own relationship is what matters. So again, start to think about that. Wanted to just put that out there.
No, that's good. That's good information. I also wanted to kind of include, like, you have to really find out what your perception of happiness in your marriage is going to look like. Because from past history or past relationships, your view of happiness can be going through trauma just to, like, get out of it. Like, always going through a traumatic event in a relationship where you feel like, okay, this is my comfort level. If I'm not in trauma, I'm not okay. But if I'm in trauma, I'm okay because I'm real. Like it's a real feeling for me where I can function. And some people function in trauma and will bring that into marriage. And if there's no trauma in their marriage, it's not a real marriage. It's not a real relationship. And I think we have normalized toxicity.
I hate that word. But good,
maybe so. In relationships and in marriages, and feel like if it ain't got no toxicity in it, if it ain't, toxic, if it's not toxic, it's not spicy or it's not cool, or you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that can distort your marriage from fulfilling its purpose that God ordained for your marriage or for anybody's marriage. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, I get it.
And like I would challenge anybody that's listening to the podcast, find out what's good for you and your husband or you and your wife, and work on that.
And pretty build much that. What you're saying is like dump that baggage.
Yeah.
And don't use that as your like lever of what marriage should look like. It should be fresh and new. It shouldn't be something based on what trauma or experiences you had in your past. Because this person is not the person you were previously with.
Yeah.
So give this person room to prove to you that they are who they say they are. So I definitely get that.
Yeah.
So yeah, these are some of the things we're going to be chatting about this season. And as always, we always want to hear from you. If there's something that you'd like to discuss, please drop us a note at marriageunmastered@gmail.com. You can also send us a DM on IG. Mm-hmm. We're mainly on IG. We really don't do much with too many of the other social medias, but you could try to hit us up there. Trump done got rid of TikTok, so we still have it. I still have it on my phone, but I don't know how many of y'all still have it, and we ain't really never been
TikTok's
super,
still popping.
super on there, but I don't know, maybe we should try. But either way, IG is kind of like our home base. So check us out there. Also visit the website marriageunmastered.com.
Yeah. I would definitely say email is probably the best option, y'all, to get in contact with us. Shoot us an email. We've had a lot of our supporters, our listeners, give us information about them or family members, and looking for not only advice but encouragement and just open to share. And so we will say thank you to that, because it encourages us to keep going and keep doing this, because this is a mission for us. It's not something just like fly by night. No, this is real. We really want to support marriages and help people reach their full potential in their marriage.
And build a community. Like all of that is
that part too.
Really Henry's passion. Like I said, I am still learning, so I'm not necessarily know if I can help you reach your full potential, but I could definitely talk to you about what we've been through.
We want to encourage.
And that's where for me it's the community that we really want to just build a community of people who want to stay married and, and normalize what that happy looks like. So, yeah, we got a lot of things coming up this year too. So please look forward. Make sure you continue to check the website, check the IG, because we have some really exciting events and things coming up, and it might be in your area. So definitely just stay connected, because we want to hear from you. We want to get to know you. And we just want to continue to grow together.
Absolutely. All
right, y'all. So, again, if this is your first time listening, we usually keep it around 20 minutes, but we decided for season 5, we're going to be from between 20 and 30. So, we're not going to keep you all day here, but we definitely want to make sure we're always connecting.
Yeah. Listen to us in your car, on the way to work, on the way to church, on the way to get them kids, anything, We just here for you all.
On all streaming platforms.
That's right.
All right. So until next time, thank you for tuning in to Marriage Unmastered Season 5.
Peace.
We here. Come talk to us.